and let's go ahead and give a quick little recap of what happened last time on Wrath of Sardior. Though I'm sure everybody remembers it was a fierce boss fight against Tiamat that you all won. Brilliantly so, decisively so. And now you're all demigods. New powers, new abilities. And as we were all chatting a minute ago, only 3 magical items each. Poor Jade. Such a hard decision for him. The guy basically walks up, can spread open a trench coat, be like, "Hey Mac, need some magic items? I'm the Dungeon Master's manual now. Look at this, I have everything." But you made yourselves back to Baldur's Gate. Outside the Basilisk Gate to the south, though with the picture I presently have is sort of on its side where south is towards the right. So, just the way it goes. Making it there, you were greeted by an old friend many of you haven't seen in quite a long time. Alan Aleth, the owner, or at least once owner, of Elfsong Tavern, as he admitted to the group of you that it's gone. Eradicated, destroyed in the process. Baldur's Gate itself definitely has seen better days. You can see smoldering ruins where it looks like the city has been under heavy siege, severely damaged. Sitting outside the gate are a number of dead warriors, mostly wizardry folk, in fact. And Mordenkainen himself was leaning up against the wall. However, he isn't the only notable figure. A couple people are standing around, a couple of them hard-looking, tough-looking. One that might stand out to the team is a very, very dark-skinned elf. A drow, in fact, seems to be crouched beside Mordenkainen's body as if giving a gentle reprise of prayer for them or something of the sort. But you all might be more interested in speaking with Alan, as he had seen what happened in Baldur's Gate. So before we get the ball rolling, and I give you all a recap of what went down in this city some hours ago, anyone got any questions or anything?
Is there a large panther next to the Dark Elf, or...?
Yeah, there could have been.
Except for the whole magic... Okay. No, I'm up for hearing Alan's retelling.
Alan, before we get into that real quick, just so you know, I tried to import, but it's saying we can't find images, so it's not importing.
Oh, that can happen sometimes with the way it works. Let me try and see if it's still giving the same error. Could be a cross-link due to performance issues, but give me a second. I'll try and import.
Thank you.
Worst case, we'll turn the image mode off for the import, but let me try. Because sometimes you'll get that and only the Dungeon Master can get it for you.
Yeah.
So give me a quick second to clicky the import. Fetching DDB inventory images, making it look pretty. La 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 la, SRD icons, la la la. Swear to God, this thing's about as fast as my first car. 92 Plymouth Sundance, 40 uphill with the pedal to the floor. Wow, that is very slow. I'll get that re-imported. There we go. You should be good to go now, and you have a bajillion daggers. Put those in as quantity. What'd you do, rob Jade?
No, we just asked him to give me those.
Fair. So I'm going to go ahead and give the game an actual unpause so the in-game clock's running. It's 7:30 at night, and the ground itself still holds a clear level of snow upon it. A small volume of which falls from the air above. As it is in fact winter after all, 20th of Nighthall, wonderfully normally a day of celebration on the Sword Coast. But not this time. Alan's gonna give a firm, hearty handshake to Jade because you were his #1 customer, as we mentioned. You did have Baldur's Gate as a regular spot for Jade, so... And he greets you and says, "Welcome back, my friend. I'm not sure what's happened here, but it was hell." He acknowledges as he nods his head once. And begins to tell you of what happened here. They were enjoying the afternoon 5-6 hours ago when the sun was suddenly blocked out from view. As he looked up overhead, he saw what looked like a great, powerful city perched on top of a mountain, drifting down towards Baldur's Gate. Some sort of barrier sat around it, and it crushed buildings under the weight of such power. But he didn't get a very good look at it for very long before it attacked. Beams of light like he's never seen shone out from it, illuminating the afternoon sky bright as it fired upon Baldur's Gate. And you've all been on that beautiful city of Kintyre. You know exactly what it was capable of with all those multitude of cannons over the top. Sure, the big one takes a long time to recharge, days in fact, but those little ones, you remember the devastation they were able to wrought. They have annihilated a chunk of Baldur's Gate, craters left behind from the damage they were inflicted. But Alan is able to confirm for you, they only got the fire 15, maybe 20 seconds, and in that time there was nothing they could do to hold back against it. And it was in the upper city. A large, bright light came from the heavens as Mystra themselves stood against him. Somehow, by her strength, she was able to stop the mighty city from firing upon them any further. It seems as though her strength and control over magic was enough to permanently alter how Kintyre was operating, which makes sense. It might use the power of the void, but it was definitely a creation of magic that allowed it to convert much of that for assault and power. After she had finished casting her spell, however, she was attacked by a singular figure, strong and powerful in dark blue armor with gold trim and two mighty blades. Their fight took across the city, and at one point she stood against him. And she said her brothers and her sisters, the other gods, will stand beside her, as you all might recall when she was talking to you on top of the pillar. You'd realize she was fighting him at that time when she sent you that message. However, nobody came. She was left to fight him alone. And despite the incredible power of the goddess of magic, she was quickly losing that fight, cut down and cut low, before a group of wizards, about 8 of them, suddenly showed up, including Mordenkainen, and they started to tip the balance of the fight, but it quickly went south. So powerful was this person they were fighting against, this beast that called itself a god. If it wasn't for the timely intervention of our drow friend over there joining mid-combat and distracting him, the fight would have went considerably worse. He provided enough of a distraction that Mordenkainen was able to beseech the goddess herself directly. He'd mentioned he spent his entire life preparing for a moment such as this, for when this inevitable conflict came, obtaining the rarest and most powerful of magical artifacts and ingredients for some incredibly dangerous spell that he needed her permission to cast. He claimed it would help balance the fight, would turn the tides of the war, as he requested the right to cast some sort of spell about an avatar, and called on Sardior's power itself. But it wasn't enough, as Sardior admitted to him that even though he just dropped a 12th level spell, he was something more than a god. Which is where Alan explains that he saw this fight up close and personal as this powerful wizard with the power of the gods fought against a man who turned himself into a great, incredible serpentine dragon of ruby, but he didn't get to see where the fight went. The two of them raised into the sky above Baldur's Gate, both in an effort to preserve the city from further destruction, and so they'd have somewhere they could actually duke it out. But ultimately, Mordenkainen fell and was unable to defeat the mighty Sardior. The city above Baldur's Gate slowly rose to the clouds and was soon out of glimpse, however, within the hour. And with Mordenkainen's passing breath as the last of his essence waned and waxed, he left a warning. He said that the god that he fought said his creations, his pets, are to be unleashed on Baldur's Gate, and this town will be destroyed. Before he said he was going to take a flight to Waterdeep. No one is certain, however, what became of Mistra. In the chaos of the moment that was provided, she got out of Dodge and left, which now leaves Baldur's Gate in the sad state that it's presently in, badly devastated and damaged, and with magic recently off the table. They don't know what they're gonna do. They can't bring people back, they can't heal, they can't restore. But that's the story in a nutshell. For those wondering, the spell Mordenkainen used was Karsus' avatar, which Nimbar would probably be able to confirm. He's read up on such blasphemy of a spell, one that can allow you to assume the strength of a god. However, Nimbar's also been made aware now of a newer piece of information. Even though that's the 12th level spell, the highest tier of magic anyone's ever theorized, Sardior had explained to Mordenkainen that if he had cast it at 13th level, he would have taken all of Sardior's power. But he's something more than a god, and a spell at only 12th only took half. And that wasn't enough. The city stands now, badly damaged, but still it stands. Unfortunately, Alan doesn't have any further information for you. He's been doing what he can to help those around, going through his warehouse to get food and provisions and passing it out to those who need it. And there are a lot who need it.
I mean, we could command our army to help, but I don't know if friendly devils showing up will really comfort people.
You're using air quotes when you're saying friendly, right?
Well, as friendly as someone can be when it's help these people or I will eradicate you from existence. Yeah.
Don't mind me. I just had to crack a window.
Oh, no worries.
There we go. A little too warm for a minute, so I just had to pop that open. A lot of heat generates at my computer desk, especially with headphones on my head.
I know that feeling.
Now, that being said, the only survivor of the combat is that drow. He makes point that for a brief moment he's never seen someone so crazed with a blade, their ability to swing two swords unmatched. They were able to hold back Sardior for a brief time. I mean, admittedly, if anybody can do it, he should be able to.
Yeah. Do you need money? Can I buy help? Is there even any point in money anymore? We can give them a ton.
There are always needs for money.
Look,
Jade, can the treasury spare such an expense?
How much expense are we talking?
well,
Alan,
what can we spare?
You're a businessman.
Anything's going to help them. Certainly.
I don't know, like $1 million gold or something. Is that a lot? I have lost all context for gold in this party now.
It's definitely a lot. And I will say your army is now marching out on this area. You got 10,000 strong devils, which has definitely got what remains of the guard force here on edge. You can see your big friend, the chain devil, Princeps Kovics, approaching a guard captain whose knees are essentially buckling as Kovacs towers over him, and they start discussing and talking. War plans, as it were. But 1,000,000 gold would go a very far way with repairs, certainly. They're going to need every inch and every bit of help that they can get. However, with magic knocked out, but Mystra not dead, it leaves a good question as to where did she go?
Also, why is divine magic also affected?
I could ask my dad where she might go. He's and Alex knowledge. Possibly the highest level cleric related to Mystra.
Well, for John's sake.
Daddy?
Oh my word. Hey Dad, what's going on? I tried to stop Sardior. Sorry, son. I'm missing my legs. He chopped them off. I can't regrow them.
I'll completely throw off the campaign. I'll tree stride and regenerate.
Oh my word. I grow wooden legs. There. This will do. Legs of the trees. John, Nimbar can give me an arcana check, though, as he wonders on that one. Why divine magic would be off the table, too.
Ooh, bad rolls.
Well, all uses the weave, right? And if Mistra's can't manage that.
Well, like,
any form of magic comes from the weave and modifying and changing it. Mystra, as you have been made aware through Secrets of the Campaign, is the absolute strongest among the gods, with the exception of anyone who would be in charge of her. But for her and her brethren who stand beside her, she is without a doubt the strongest. That is well known. But even then, by divine intervention, a god could still give some degree of power to their worshippers. You wouldn't be able to use anything in an area without the weave, as you can no longer sense it in this world. But it would also imply that the gods themselves have abandoned this world. There's no one to come help you anymore.
So and that comes back to the question, where did she go? Because this is the last world, so...
Those are the questions I'd like to know.
Well, Alan was just an observer for the fight.
Well, I guess...
To our new... Let's go talk to this drow.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, it's real tempting to give him a voice like, hello, gentlemen, just to be a douche.
No, come on, trust is cool.
Exactly.
If you do that, and with you honestly can't do that because one of your watchers is from Wizard of the Coast, and
They'll cry.
everything that they've been doing to make you happy, they're going to do the opposites.
Like, they come out with a source book next month. Driss Duerden has been confirmed as the physical avatar of Sardior. Note, F.U. Alan, close note. It's like, hey! That was my plot! Oh.
I would, if Arca and Crow sounded like that, one of the newer ones, fine. But Driss is he's a solid dude.
Driss is the original cool. Fights against a Merilith with 6 arms and 6 blades, and he's got 2, and he's like, there's no way they can coordinate 6 blades, and beats it because he said that. Like, okay, I'll tip my hat. He lives on rule of cool half the time, which is the truth. Very old, but he'd be sitting there, and he'd have his panther beside him, who would look severely injured, but by no means dead. He's taken the time to bandage up the beast at this moment.
should I flex? I'm going to flex. I'm going to walk up. Change my form to that chalice. I'm going to do a lot. Just drop a little cure wounds on the panther.
As you do, tossing it back 11 points of health, healing and stitching a lot of the wounds.
Hang on.
Oh,
I'm not done. Is there anyone else badly hurt?
and keep in mind, a panther's only got 13 health, so you've already maxed it out. Tons of people, lots of people around.
That goes to, like, someone nearby in critical condition.
Some poor dude just jumps up to his feet like, I saw the gods.
My knees are fine.
Pulls the arrow out. He's like, I can be an adventurer again. Oh my. As you show some kindness, it's registered by a few, of course, but he's gonna look a little surprised as he turns to look towards you, and then a slight smirk falls on his face. Well, I shouldn't be surprised to find some people with some power. I mean, after all, you all seem to be practically floating with it. And on that note, feel free to make small, and I say small because you're demigod, changes to the appearance of your character to sort of represent the divine nature of them now. Maybe your eyes have a glow to them. Maybe your hair floats somewhat and has a bit of a fiery essence. Maybe for, like, Flux, there's electricity crackling between each one of her scales. I don't know. Have some fun with it. But you can gain some minor cosmetic features to represent your character's ascending beyond that of simply mortals.
Nimber just feels it. There's nothing visual, just an aura. Just like your grandpa.
I think maybe for Alec, his like Celtic knotwork tattoos occasionally move, and when they move, like there's like an element of like plant growth or something nearby. Like if he's a druid and a god, like he's probably bursting with like the power of creation. So every so often he's tattoos twitch and like a flower or something will sprout.
Gives a whole new meaning to having a knot in your shoulder. That's pretty cool though. I wonder, Jade looks like a shadow half the time now. He looks like Vanta Black. You cannot see him.
It's funny because I was asking Jillian, we were having a talk last night about who would be a god of what, like what aspects would our characters or take on. Like Nimbar, obviously magic, like an element of aspect of magic, and then I was like, Flux, you think war, but Jillian was like, no, duty. Then we're like, Jade's got to be just like shadow, or just cunning, a god of cunning. And I was like, Alec, I don't know, stubbornness.
Bellamy can be shade because she's good at throwing it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think Bellamy fits more to chaos. Just god of chaos.
Oh god, yeah, she's up there. God of the random.
So funny because, like, Bellamy is one of Courtney's least chaotic characters, honest to God.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite shocking.
I like how her character is, I was driving through hell having a good time because I'm pretty strong. And then she meets up with the party and it's like, every other minute of Bellamy's life has been, oh my god, really? I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. This is horrifying. And the team's like, we deal with this every Tuesday. By the end, she's as shell-shocked as the rest, and she goes, we'll be okay. Oh my. Well, this drow will stand up, tall, proud, and strong, as they extend a hand towards you and say thank you for the assistance to my ally. I greatly appreciate it. Magic is a rare gift now for certain, but it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Dristeward, and I was simply passing through this town at this time when all hell broke loose. And because of the fact that in one edition, there is a background that you can get in Rime of the Frost Maiden, I believe. And I'm going to pull that up as a cross-reference here.
Oh, it's got to be related to 10 Towns.
Here we go. Yep. Dristfan. I once met the famous drow ranger, Dristuurden. In fact, I have a tattered piece of his famous green cloak and would never think to part with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's entirely up to your characters if you have a working knowledge of Drist. He is very well known and he's very old. He's in the centuries now. They killed off all the original characters who originally hung with him because he got old. Like,
Yeah.
No, I probably would know. He's been around a spell.
I think I would know of him because I'm from a druid clan in the north. I mean, there must have... My grandfather must have seen him, at least.
I'm going to give him a huge piece of fame, however. Drist was originally called the One Good Dark Elf, but they've changed things around now. As we know, the species no longer are inherently good or evil. And I'm going to tip my hat and say the reason that all of you would believe that drows are just another form of elf, not evil elves like we used to say, has been because of his actions, because of the good that he's done for the world on the whole. He's brought their image way up. He doesn't get stared at walking through towns or called a monster or called him evil anymore. Quite the opposite. He'll get a hero's welcome for a lot of places he go through if they see him. But the honest truth is right now you're all higher level than this guy. And most of you are taller than him. He's only 5'4".
Elves are little in D&D. Not a lot of people realize that.
But I get to look up to him.
Yep. You'll also notice that the DM's done the unspeakable. One of his swords lies broken on the ground.
Is it Twinkle or Ice and Death?
Roll me a D2. Once again, Twinkle has been broken. Unfortunately, the last time it was broken and put back together, it didn't regain its strong defensive magic, so...
Where's Bell?
Well, get your ass over here, boy.
you work for us. Thanks, this. Sorry about your blade there.
He gives
Heard stories about it.
gives a light chuckle as he looks down and gives a nod, then back towards the team. Twinkle saw me very well through very many combats. It was vastly superior to its original form, but now lies shattered. So it looks like Icing Death here will once again be my main weapon. I'd used it for over a century, but now it's back. And tell me, friends and allies, if I should be so bold as to call you that, what brings you and an army of the damned to Baldur's Gate? Are you conquerors or saviors?
Saviors. It's a long story, but here's the condensed version, and I'll give them a rough recap of what happened.
3
Unless
days
you want me
later.
to. The synopsis of the synopsis.
Well, we went to Water's Deep to try to make some money, and then we ended up in this dungeon. I'm gonna skip 15 minutes of game time as he takes in the story with a nod of his head. Avernus, Tiamat, such monstrosities in capacity that you've all faced in combat, certainly. I've heard of such things and I've seen such people in my day, but you are a rare occurrence. If the world has deemed you fit to attain such power, then truly these are dire times, some of the worst I've ever seen. He's going to lean down and give his panther a scritch on the head, who's giving a soft purr because it's pretty much healed up at this much.
I'm sorry I rolled a 1 in that.
But still
I'm
almost...
trying to remember the name. Gwenhavar?
Gwenhavar, yep. Guenhwyvar. Grünharvar. Let me look how that's actually pronounced. They don't tell me. Well,
It
it makes
did
7
make
up
it
yours.
easy.
That's what I got to say then. Oh my word. But he gives a very firm scritch to the top of his panther's head, who looks happy at it. Looking towards the party at first with a stern glance and a growl, but you see the eyes go a bit wide as the head pulls back. You've seen this in animals and creatures as a druid, of course. It's a fear of something strong standing before you. After all, warthogs might be crazy and brave, but they won't face off against a tiger if they can help it.
I'll say in Druidic to her. Worry not.
Looks even more scared as it sort of pulls back a bit like, oh crap, it's talking to me.
Okay, I'm going to need to reassess how I approach people.
He's going to give the panther a small pat on the side of the head and look back towards you. Don't be too surprised. By your very essence, you are all quite intimidating, I won't lie. At first I thought you were coming here to finish the acts of the other, but when that bartender started crying and gripped one of your hands, I assumed you did some miracle for him, but now I see he's just a blithering fool. Though I fear this world can use more of those fools. We are in short supply of such good people now.
Phil with a good heart. I hope he's got a good financial advisor. He's about to come into some strong cash flow to help out this city. What? So what? Right. So you were in the fight. How? No offense. Does someone with 2 scimitars and a panther distract Sardior because he killed us?
Well, I wasn't alone, he says casually as he indicates a hand out towards the slain wizardry that lie around. And as he nods and says, Mordenkainen, the mighty man himself made an appearance against this beast, along with what he called his allies, his strongest, his circle of 8. And if it wasn't for their presence, there is no chance that I would have been able to stand against them. I saw them struggling in a fight, and I saw the writing on the wall as the city was being destroyed, and honestly, I didn't think I was going to make it out alive. A single broken blade is more than a blessing in disguise. I charged headstrong against him. It was the only thing that could be done against such a foe. I draw my blades against his, and the wizards empowered me as best that they could. Anyone who says I distracted him is throwing me a kindness, friends. Definitely a kindness. I only provided the brief instance that Mordenkainen need to cast whatever spell that he did, but let me assure you, if he had another step to him, that god would have slain me as well. I barely dodged. I barely made it out with my neck. And as you can see, as he indicates those who lay around you, others were not so fortunate. I also made a point on this one that a certain monk who used to travel with the party was going to be among the dead, which is why their character disappeared a long time ago and was never seen again. They actually did cross the realm back to this one, and Death told them, I could use your help with something. But some things don't peter out entirely, so.
Be Damikos?
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
He'd be among the dead. He helped Drist. Shoulder to shoulder and back to back they fought. But against such a monster of power, they were no match. Which makes sense, after all. Like you said, he wiped you all out in the matter of a round. That happens. Because the DM sees, you can have an extra turn? Why don't I give him 7? That should balance out combat fairly, said nobody. But it's about the only way that I can show the differentiation in power between overgods and mortals. You're beginning to close that gap, however. Those who might be curious as well, I've directly referenced the Circle of 8. Mordenkainen founded it, and it was mostly just a mix, if I recall correctly, of a bunch of his characters. And he was notorious for never releasing in-game stats of them. But those were all of his wizards and his characters in the Circle of Eight, and there were a few very big names in that Circle of Eight. Like Tensor
And
was,
he's-
if I recall. Oh, sorry, Dean.
Oh no, it's okay.
I was just naming random wizards who were in it.
So all the spells that have like Tensor's floating disc, Tensor's transformation. Tasha, she won.
Let me see what the present listing was. 8+1. Tensor was not a member of the Circle anymore. A few of them were, but there's Warna Starcode, Alahamazad the Wise, and the High Elf Theoden Erasion. Circle's first non-human member. So, you know. Just 8 powerful wizards. I will leave it up to the blank since magic's no longer in existing and it's not their story. Mordenkainen, though, is featured a few times throughout my campaign, and this is where he came to rest.
You've been trying to kill him for years, and you finally did it.
No, I didn't want to kill him off. I like Gygax. He was the man. This is sort of my hat tip to Gygax for making such a wonderful game for all of us to play. I'll have your character pop up one last time, making a difference and saving the goddess of magic's life at the cost of his own.
I may be able to bring him back if... I mean, I don't have it prepared, but I can resurrect people if that's still a thing. But that kind of experimentation, I think, will come later.
Well, as Alec is pondering that, everyone give me a perception check.
Oh,
I love how I rolled the 19. He still kicked me.
canvas drawing failed.
Oh, tap
Did anyone
F5.
else get that?
It didn't pull you over, no. Tap F5, see if it'll reload for you. Because I do show you active, but it didn't load for you.
Oh yeah, like I can... Oh shit, I must log in order to access this game. What?
Kicked you out hard.
It did that to me earlier.
And I'm gonna
Oh,
roll
right.
for Courtney, since she's not in and she has super high... Look at that.
I need to run up the stairs to get my my book of passwords because god damn it, I don't remember them all.
Oof.
And if someone breaks into my house and steals my password book, I have other problems.
Oh my word.
I kind of want to break in and like steal your book just to mess with you. Like, I'll give it back, but just to mess with you, make you panic for a minute.
You go home, you flip through the pages, you see you've actually stolen the book, he keeps all of his D&D notes in, and you're like, oh no, I'm a dead man.
Oh dear. That's partially the reason I started using some password managers for accounts that don't matter, but I avoid signing up to things now just because there's too many accounts. Like, I know you get a free game every week or something with the Epic Game Store, but I just don't want another email address password combo.
It has to be good for me to log in. So then, I will be honest, only Alec and Bellamy have passed. The other party members, you get a deep, foreboding feeling. Because, it's at this time Drist would make note that he's not sure what happened, but Mordenkainen's last words still haunt Drist to this moment. As he admits that he said, "Some great monstrous creations are coming, and I don't know what to expect." As you'd feel the ground suddenly rumble. And glancing out, you can see the harbor shifting as something great and mighty swims beneath it.
is this thing?
Nah, it looks pretty though, doesn't it? That's just a rock in Baldur's Gate. It looks nice, but that's just a part
Okay.
of it. Now, I have your tokens just sitting outside Basilisk Gate, but there's nothing stopping you from rushing through the city towards the harbor. And people might be saying, how the heck do they even know something's at the harbor? That's so far away from where they are. They're level 20s who rolled above 30 on a perception check. That is the definition of darn near impossible. So yeah, something's coming from the harbor. Something's approaching here.
How wide is Baldur's Gate?
Quite large. I'm giving you that silent benefit of the doubt that if you needed to get down to that area, if you rush fast, the team could probably make it there. Because this ripple is coming from out in the water, making its way inward, twisting and turning.
Well, we gotta go, don't we?
I think so.
Good City and
Kovacs,
Kraken.
ready the men to the harbour.
You're gonna bring the army with you, have them march? They'll move a lot slower than a team, though. An army only marches so fast.
I know. I figure we'll be going ahead, and it's just if that's where the action's happening. We want our troops there, at the very least, to get people out.
Yeah.
If you're looking for them to be the ones to help, they can definitely do some work. As you're all getting ready to go in, basically, Princeps Kovic is gonna come over and he's gonna give Daniil, give us guidance. What is your command? Something is coming.
Get the civilians to safety.
Yeah, civilians to safety. Yeah, I think that's probably the best they can do. And
I will cast a large person on myself. That way, I am now a medium creature. Who else is the slowest one here? I'm grabbing. Actually, no. I probably grab Flux. We're going ahead.
yeah.
Obviously, asking permission.
Lulu's gonna
Yes,
look
I
at
mean,
you.
you can grab me if you want, but are you like if you cast a large person on yourself? Are you just not the same size as me?
I'm a medium, which lets me dimension door us both.
Oh, Dimension Door. Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
No.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with you.
I didn't say that. More or less, he's like confirming that you're willing to go, and then he's dimension door.
Oh, but now that I thought you were just gonna carry me, and I'm like, I know you're bigger, but you're not that much bigger, John. Come
Oh
on.
my.
No. Sorry.
Grows to 5.5
That's okay.
foot. I got you now, Flux. And she's like, you can't even piggyback me, bro.
Yeah, I'll Dimension Door with Nimbar.
Can I trouble you to do the import for me? The Foundry does not like D&D Beyond items, so Jade's collection of items are interfering with the import.
Makes sense. You give me a second, I'll do a full import, because it's probably refreshing all the SRD icons too, and Forge sometimes gets cranky about permissions on that. But once we do one import, usually it'll let you import after that.
It's something about, it's not liking the .jpeg for different magical items.
Oh, probably converting them to WebP on the fly. But I did a re-import for you. You should be good. Everything's looking pretty now. So many items. So we're going to have Flux and Nimbar are going to make it to the harbor first. So I'm just going to move your minis myself. We're using the big map, so things are going to get a little bit tricky as you're moving along. But we'll worry about distance as it comes.
Could I also add to Kovacs to send any flyers we have up to scout around the area? Because I don't think this will be the only thing that's coming.
Actually, give me a second. This'll help. Oh no, 50's the best I can do. Darn. No problem. They can definitely send a bundle of them into the air. They do have winged devils and demons and etc. So let me just increase the background image scale here and decrease the grid scale. This is going to throw everyone's vision off for a second. You're all going to be like outside the map. Oh no, that was a bad idea. That's a lot of lag. Let me fix that. Cannot increase image size without making the whole thing go F yourself DM. So I'm just going to quickly change that back.
It was not happy about that.
Tried a trick, it said no. There we go, back to the way it was. No, it didn't switch it back for me. Oh, fudge. 1 to the scale of the background image. Save, yes. Save changes, yes. Might need to reload the page. Oh, it really does not like what I did.
Sorry, do we all need to reload or?
Not yet, hang on.
Okay. Just let us know if we do.
It wouldn't let me save the settings, so I had to go back and reconfigure secondary settings. This should get it. Oh my god, this thing is so broken now. I'm switching you all to a different map for a second because it just shit the bed. I have got to recreate the map. There's no way to fix it. It keeps resetting this setting, so you give me a second here.
Oh, no worries, man.
Take your time. No rush.
It's a quick fix, thankfully, so. But wowza. I found a way to make Foundry cranky, apparently.
How dare you try to do something I'm not prepared for?
Essentially. And we're going to activate the other scene, and I'm going to have to fix up the lighting and notation here in just a moment. Let me pull your characters back in now. And I'm going to switch the lighting back over to full tier lighting. And you know me, I always go alphabetical with this stuff. And where is she? There we go. Lulu. Full team. There we go. Should be working now. Should be able to move now without the whole thing shitting a damn brick. What the hell was up with that?
I don't know. Oh, that was neat.
What's up?
Oh, I'm assuming not Nimbar set to follow Nimbar.
Yep.
Well, when it moved, like the two moved together, and then not Nimbar slowly fell behind.
I did the same for Jade's second turn. It'll always remain 5 feet behind you. If you click on your token and then hover over a different one and click F, it will follow you. Like, I just set Bellamy to follow 5 feet behind Flux that way. You've also got Rhea and Lulu on the team as well. Lulu can fly, and she can fly very fast if you want her involved in this fight.
No, I think maybe we should have Lulu helping whoever Alex sends out on lookout. Like the flyers, as Alec mentioned.
Yeah.
Get Lulu kind of supervising them and organizing them.
Yeah, she can almost break the sound barrier when she flies, so if we have Lulu as like a runner...
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I recall, 120 feet in a 6-second run, that'll be about 14 mile per hour, give or take. So that's almost 30 miles per hour at a dash is her max speed. So yeah, that's a pretty damn good speed for someone to fly. She'll take on her mammoth form, mind you, and do that. First thing she's already attempted to do is you see she's going to wander over looking a bit sad. She'll look up towards the party. You know, I actually did try. I tried to help a few people, but I think even my magic is gone. I ain't got nothing left. This also means her protection ability no longer functions, but Lulu can still change form to giant mammoth mode and use her blasting trumpets and stuff. But magic? She can no longer cast any of her healing spells. You're level 20, you shouldn't need it.
Well,
Can I haven't officially decided what my third imbuement was going to be.
Yes, please.
Like, could I actually give Lulu one spell? Like, use, like,
Nope.
my third... Oh, damn. I was hoping. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
well,
Can Lulu be my magic item?
well, General Lulu, you coordinate with General Kovacs, and make sure information gets where it needs to be.
Do you want Kamashag to come with her too?
Let's see. I mean, he can move half her speed as an owl, so yeah, he can stick with.
I mean, it's up to you. I just thought it would be cute to have Kamashag and Lulu, like, as our generals.
Yeah, well, you know
I
what?
have experience. I can do it.
Yeah, sure.
I know you can.
He'll stick with Lulu as an owl, and then if she needs to be in two places at once, he can come get us, and she can go where she needs to be. Because I think, let's see, his 1 HP probably isn't going to stand up to whatever we're going to come up against.
Lulu throws him on top of her head as she turns into a giant mammoth, then marches her way over to Princeps Kovacs and sort of stares down towards him. Alright, you, get on. Someone gonna have to lead this on me, and I need your authority. He even grimaces, looking up like, this is wrong. But he jumps on Lulu's back as she gives her wings a spread. Looks to the team, says, alright, you guys gonna be okay without me?
Before they take off, I'm pretty sure, just for the craziness, Bellamy would put General Duga up there as well.
As she's picking Duga up, he's gonna flail his arms, go nuts as he does, and all that sort. You know, he's...
Yeah.
This is not safe.
Gonna walk over to Flux quickly, start rummaging through the bags of her stuff as he's looking for something. And
What? No! I grab him by the collar. Just tell me what you want. You're not going through my bags.
as you're picking him up, he's holding the big, blackened helmet that they forged for you so long ago as he looks towards you and blinks a few times.
I can borrow.
Okay, just ask next time. Use your words, and I'll plop the helmet on his head.
He blinks a few times and tilts his head to the side.
What is ask?
Just go.
The poor little red cat gives a big grin, and he leans in and does the unthinkable and gives Flux a hug. And then just nods his head once towards you,
Be safe. Keep it up or side down.
in reference to the old war machines, because, well, it's about all he knew.
Yeah, I'll give him a tap on the helmet and send him on his way.
I'm sure Courtney will be playing up Bellamy, you know, with Duga at the moment. But since she's not here, this is our reference for you, Courtney. As Duga jumps on with Lulu as well. And you see Princeps Kovac looks down at him, he looks up and gives a big shit-eater grin. You know. Duga's with the big bosses at the moment. Lulu, meanwhile, is gonna spread her wings and say, right then, alright, let's get this party started. You there, first line of defense with secondary class line AFB. I'm going to need you to get into position around the secondary side of the city. Second team, Alpha Bravo, you both are going to need to go to the southbound area within camp, and you're gonna be... Lulu takes over in a masterful style, flexing her knowledge and strategic capacity in battle. Though she's a sweetheart, you know she was made for war originally, and it shows.
Just while we're in a bit of a lull right now, are we going to be taking a break? I just have to go to the bathroom, but I can wait if we're going to be having a break soon.
Well, the team can take a quick break now. Sure, we can take a quick 10-minute. Give ourselves a quick
I'm not trying to push for it. I just, I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm like, should I go now and, while we sort things out, or should we... Is this usually what time we take a break, so...
Well, the question is, the group of you are all going to make it to the shoreline? To try to fight this whatever the heck is coming?
Yeah.
Because if you want, I could hop you all to the shoreline, give you the quick cutscene of what happens and what you're going to have to deal with, and then we could take a break, if that's good for you.
Sure.
No.
All right.
Yeah, no, I can wait a couple minutes.
If it helps us, I'll summon some pixies to give most of us a fly speed so we can catch up with Flux and Nimbar.
That'd be a good thing to do. Give everybody flight. Might be able to make use of that.
Except for Jade, who I imagine's already might actually get there before the dimension door spell finishes.
Probably. You're all teleporting, you appear there, Jade's just standing, blowing the dust off of his claws, oh, hey guys.
By the time you arrive.
Well then, as you all make your way there, it'll be around the same time as you'd notice the water suddenly beginning to rise up in front of you. And when I say rising up in front of you, I mean a gigantic dome of water beginning to breach. It almost looks like a bubble floating to the surface of unbelievable, colossal size. You see a fin beginning to tear through, or what looks like a fin, or something much more wide. And I'm actually going to bring the team up. You can feel free to place yourselves anywhere along the harbor line, because this thing comes right in the main drag here. Despite how big that harbor is, it takes up a good chunk of the room. Boats knocking, twisting, and moving out of the way as a monstrosity begins to rise up, and it is so incredibly large that the water does not immediately break. It domes over top of this beast as it rises, and a taloned claw breaks through, a terrible roar echoing, as you see a monster with a carapace that looks like earth and stone mixed together, covered in spikes. Ooh, yeah, Dean makes a reference to Sin coming up from Final Fantasy X. Actually, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I'll put that image up after the break because I'll have to copy, save, download, and I don't want to... Jillian needs to use the washroom, so, And she's not the only one.
Okay, well, I'm alright, just for what it's worth.
Sin is pretty strong. I'm gonna admit, it's a beast, one of the biggest things that you get to see. But that's definitely not going to be what you're gonna have to fight here today. No, I need something stronger. Because as this beast breaches the water, as it roars a tremendous gale of power towards you, you recognize the fangs, the teeth, and the claws as a Tarrasque breaches the land.
Well...
Oh my god, they're really that big? Jeez.
Maybe not necessarily, I can only get the maps so big. They're supposed to be a 20 by 20 gargantuan style epic legend, but for the pictures I've given you gives an idea as this siege monster breaches through the water and sledgehammers down on the shore before you. People scream in fear and terror as they run away, and the DM is of course going to ask you all to roll for initiative, but before we get there, now's a perfect time for us to take a quick 15-minute break, as we normally would.
Alright.
Get ready, everybody. You've always all wanted to fight a Tarrasque before. Here's your opportunity.
Okay.
Led you to believe that I was eager to fight a Tarrasque. Who's done this? It's not me.
I'm desperately trying to remember their spell fuckery.
I think it's Dan and I's fault, let's be honest.
Actually, you
Yeah.
all might
Yeah,
recall.
yeah, more
Nice.
than likely because of the bullshit answers we came up with. Yeah, you only need to be this level and turn into this type of golem, and you can beat him.
Yep, which is
But
an easy break.
because we're beside the water, that causes issues.
There's a number of issues as well. Because I would have modified it so that one thing isn't going. Yeah, there's no point in giving you a monster that you can one shot. That's boring.
This is just the first Tarrasque, probably.
Oh, well, I will add. He did say creations.
Oh.
It's such a curse to be right all the time.
In my defense on this as well, you all might not remember, but when you first started playing Descent to Avernus, and I said, you guys ever want to run an epic level campaign once we're done this, maybe? And everyone was like, yeah, if we can get that far. I said, you'd know when you're near the end, because I promise you all, someday you will fight a Tarrasque. And well, here it is.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I will see you guys in 15 minutes.
Alrighty, we'll see you all. Oh, yeah?
So the question is, who has more health, a Tarrasque or Tiamat?
A Tarrasque.
Oh, okay.
The DM's like, spoilers, it's the Tarrasque.
But did that
Okay.
include her chromatic awakening where we had to fight through her health again?
That gives her back healing. It doesn't necessarily increase her maximum health. But, I mean, if you're looking from a standpoint, that's an argue to be made. Definitely. But technically, the Tarrasque. Technically. You're
Right.
technically correct. Which is the best kind.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do
Oh.
this.
Yeah. I
Anyone
will do
else
that.
a lot worried that looks like there's like some kind of kraken tentacle just
Oh,
out to sea?
that's the rock. We were talking about that earlier.
All right, okay. What is that Tarrasque doing to that building?
Oh, I better remove that. I don't want to get my recordings in trouble.
Oh, what the hell?
I was just going for a nice looking Tarrasque on this one, and we ended up getting not safe
That
for work.
one's on me. I ruined that.
Once I saw it and I saw the look on his face, I'm like, actually, you're probably right. Okay, that's gone. Though,
Oh, fuck.
we're talking the actual size of one. It would be comparable to this for the image. But you guys feel free to weigh out what your options are. You're more than welcome to do some Arcana checks once things roll in to see if you even recognize what this beast is. But until then, we're going to take a quick 15 because, well, bio breaks, as it were. I will see you all shortly.
See ya. Hello.
How's it going?
Not bad. I'll if I don't respond straight away in the future, it's because I'm eating an apple, and I don't think anyone wants to hear.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, well, this is going to be upsetting.
I'm excited. I don't remember too much about them, but like I do remember we read Disintegrate is like the best spell versus them.
Yeah, there's some. I know there's some fuckery with spells, and like really the best job for against the Tarrasque is like just a group of archers.
So I do remember line spells. They can reflect off themselves.
Right.
So we don't want line. And I'm not looking this up, so this is based off my memory. I could be wrong, but so we can't use line. I do believe they'll have advantage because everything has fucking advantage.
Yeah. Jeez. All my battery powered stuff is picking this moment to start being charged. My mouse just came up critical.
Oh, I know that feeling. It's all at once.
My wired headset is now plugged in as well. Oh, hello, Fergus. Will that be the door open? Thanks, Jillian. So, smaller room.
Come on, Fergus.
So, same deal as before. I'll say you've got a pixie assigned to you. And you can use its spells. Probably.
Did mine finally catch up?
Well, they're probably making its way to you just now. It came with me and Bellamy, and well, Rhea probably flies faster than us now as well.
Oh right, Rhea can fly faster than us.
Where is Rhea?
She's there.
Is she? Okay.
Down and one over from Jade.
Or
I'm going to use.
Sorry.
I'm going to use. No, it's okay. I'm going to use my thing that gives me a boost to initiative.
Here's the only kicker. Dean. You can summon pixies, sure.
They don't have magic.
Yep. So don't necessarily burn that spell on that. It's something you'd realize as you're getting ready to cast them. If they came, they wouldn't be fueling you from your magic. They'd have no magic either.
It's my Eyes of Mystra thing, so...
Oh, yeah, fair.
When he did a long rest, he would have known that. Would he be able to change his Eye of Mystra?
You haven't had a long rest.
Oh, I thought...
I just got the effects of a long rest. I mean, there's still stuff I can do with it. Like, I can summon a...
Oh, I rolled a dirty 20.
Thanks to Monsters of the Multiverse, I can summon a Hobgoblin Iron Shadow, which has... Oh, no, I won't do that.
I suppose we're here. We should probably roll in.
It's got multi-attacks, but it does D4's worth of damage. It's shite.
My god, I rolled a dirty 20 on the Tarrasque. That's awesome.
I don't know why mine.
So happy for you.
And I keep doing it, guys. I keep forgetting to cast Gift of Alacrity. I mean, it never works, and I think so far the highest I've rolled on it is like a 4, maybe a 2. It's definitely, I remember 2. Maybe it's been a 4.
Oh, and you said I could roll an Arcana to see if I recognize this?
You can try an Arcana check to see if you can identify.
I'm actually at 13, Alan, because I rolled my ambush thing.
Perfect. Give me a second. I'll give you an update on that.
Thank you.
The only thing your character would have ever heard of such a destructive monster with a design like this one is that it was built during the War of Gods, and you've only thought such a thing was a rumor. Whatever this powerful beast is, whatever its strengths and it has, you know that its target was gods, not mortals.
It's lucky we're not gods or anything like that then. Oh no, wait.
Well, I'm gonna unpause.
We're only half gods.
What do we need? We need Bellamy, we need Rhea, and if Kamashak, he's not in the fight, so I'm gonna remove him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nope, bye boss. Well then, I've even got Jade's second turn up on the roll. As this thing breaches the water and comes down, I'll say you're all within range of the front and side of it. This wouldn't be enough to really get you into an advantageous position. But just consider this a zoom out on the map. I'll pull Flux down into a position, same with Jade. That way we've actually got it good and surrounded, but this thing is gigantic. So, Jade is up first, as you face off against the legendary Tarrasque. Meanwhile, John's like, I know it's a thing that slays gods, that's all I get, and the DM nods, and it's like, yep, there's only one of them in existence. Of course, that's all you get. If you didn't get above 40, you would have been looking at it thinking, it's a lizard. Is it a dragon that lost its wings? I will add, you have heard rumors, however, that you can warn the other party, that apparently it's immune to magic by some means or another.
Which I would proceed to do so.
I will speed 0 and abracadabra for
All right.
advantage.
You make attack against the monstrous titan standing before you. With a 30, you successfully clean through its defenses. You go ahead and roll a damage for that. For 23 points of damage total.
I get sneak attack as well.
Yep. You go ahead and roll it up. For an additional 26 points of damage on your sneak attack as you scrape into the hide of this monstrous titan standing before you. Anything else for your character's turn?
No.
And as your turn comes to an end, the Tarrasque is going to trigger one of its legendary actions as it spins around and brings teeth down to bear on top of Jade, roaring, tearing through the rubble, tearing through the streets as fangs come to grip. Is Jade's AC 25 with all the magical stuff switching on and off?
26.
26. With 26 on AC, you manage to just dodge the chomp from this beast. But it continues to chase after you, given the fact that it's now its turn instead. What I'm going to need from everyone, as it leans its head back and releases a devastating roar, except Flux because she's immune, is a wisdom savings throw against the frightful presence of this titanic beast. Enough so that your devils, all of them flying in the air, stop approaching and keep their distance. Jade, however, is terrified of the monster looming over his character's head. As you are now frightened, you can try that at the end of your turn, though it is with disadvantage if it's within line of sight of you. For passing, of course, Nimbar and Alec are now immune for 24 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up Bellamy's. She got a 19. That's a pass. Who's that lead? We got Nimbar, we got Dean, we got... That's a good roll. Who wants to roll for Rhea?
I would, but I'm still eating.
Alrighty, Dan, give us... Oh, no, John's got it. Oh. I was about to assign someone, but John volunteered, so let's see.
Yeah, just regular greatsword?
Wisdom savings throw.
No. Yeah.
Oh, wisdom, sorry.
Yep. As you approach the pier, she's gonna look at Zariel's blade and give a shrug and say, it's not much now, is it? Oh, that reminds me, I think her armor class takes into effect a shield. She'd only have an 18 for AC right now for her plate, and that's it. No magical bonuses, no magical features. And plate doesn't give you any additional bonuses for your dex score, so she's a flat 18 in her armor. But with a 32, she passes, so only Jade is scared of the titanic monster before him as it leans down and begins to lay into your character. First, those fangs come once again, though you manage to dodge them. But either claw also swings at your character as it continues to chase, and both of them strike true and strike hard. Then the horns followed up as it moves with a speed that could rival Flux, and its tail comes down with one final strike on your character, all of which hit. I'm going to need a strength savings throw as that tail hits, and let me let you know what your damage is going to be for that. The first claw hits you for 39 points of damage. The second claw hits you for 32 points of damage. The horns, as they gouge, 36. And finally, the bite. With a 14 on your strength save, you have failed as the teeth sink into your character hard. Pardon me. Oh, sorry. The bite connected with you automatically, which picked your character up, as you are now grappled by the Tarrasque. The, tail, as it brings it up and knocks on you, knocks your character prone in its mouth. And that's for a total of 25 points of damage.
So, what were the totals again?
39 for first claw, 32 for the second claw. Actually, you know what? I'll write them down. 39, 32, 36, and 25 for the 4 hits. As you are laid into.
I'll reaction in half the 39.
Alrighty. Altogether, it's 112 points of damage then. And you are held quite firmly as you are grappled in the mouth of this Tarrasque. I think you have 183 base health, so if we minus 112 off there, you're sitting at 71 now. And you're grappled, and you're knocked prone in the jaws of the Tarrasque. And you're frightful and feared of this monster too, with good reason. As we roll over now to Courtney's turn with Bellamy. I'm just giving a glance to see what she's got. You know what? Since she's not here, she's gonna look towards Nimbar as he says, that thing, it's immune to magic. She goes, immune to magic? Let's find out. So I think she's just gonna throw down a spell on top of it. Guiding Bolt. Her good old go-to. Cast at first level and consuming a slot. But as that guiding bolt soars out and sings through the air, the guiding bolt strikes hard against the side of its carapace and then is reflected, soaring through the air as it sledgehammers into a nearby building, creating quite an explosion. As Bellamy looks towards Nimbar and nods and says, "Yep, seems to be immune to magic, son of a..." Rhea looks at the greatsword in her hand, gives a slight sigh, seeing cracks forming in Zariel's once strong blade, before bringing eyes to bear against the Tarrasque before her. Who wants to go ahead and roll her attack rolls? She gets 2 attacks with a greatsword. It'd be 3 if she had another weapon in the offhand. I think I made a miscalculation previously on her and gave her 3, but it's a greatsword, not a longsword. So she gets 2 swings with that greatsword. And Dan, I think I called out on you previously, but John jumped in. Did you want to make those rolls?
Okay.
Alright. Actually, Rhea can fly. She's gonna do the brave thing and fly around to the back of the monster behind it. Greatsword in hand in an effort to try to distract it, to give some advantage to those on the front. 30's a hit. As she brings her greatsword across the back of the beast. Oh, and you're using, I think, the magical greatsword when you're doing that. You gotta use the regular one. Did it not update her token? The token has the correct one, that one does not. Just give me a second here. Because if you double click on her, it'll bring it up and it has it on there, but it looks like they didn't put it on the character sheet when I made that change. Yeah, double click on her token to bring it up. And that'll show you the basic greatsword, Sword of Zariel, and Sword of Zariel. Just swing with the basic greatsword on that one. She doesn't get any bonuses to the attack. And she rolled a 15 with a proficiency of +7, 22, plus a strength of +8, 30. She still has this. It just rolled it flat still. Whatever. I don't even know.
Well, the greatsword would have had a +2 if that was magical. So that's not rolling a magical greatsword. It's just rolling a straight greatsword.
Yep, but it didn't come through the correct way because it's got all the stuff on top as well, which is really weird. So you go ahead, though, and roll damage on the first hit from the greatsword.
Do I need to re-roll it for advantage? In case of a 20, or...
You can give it a shot. And as for her second attack against the Tarrasque, you go ahead and roll that up too. Because she's got 2 hits. 32's a hit. You go ahead and roll damage twice for her greatsword. As her sword connects down hard, it rings through the air, and Rhea curses. Brings a second shot, hits it, and it bounces off as she floats backwards somewhat, gliding slightly above the ground as she looks down and looks up and says, "Damn it! I didn't even make a scratch on him!" As it seems immune to her non-magical weaponry attack. Jade's turn. You are technically prone and grappled. And frightened.
So is her angelic weapon feature now null because of the
Sword of Zariel has no power whatsoever. It's just a great sword.
No, it's not. I'm looking at her character sheet. It says angelic weapons.
I copied her character sheet from I copied her character sheet from Zariel. That would no longer function. I gotta pop that.
Okay.
She still keeps her magic resistance and legendary action. Because I gave her a teleport, essentially. But that's going to be it for her. I'm actually going to clear her up a bit. She takes a pretty big nerf. She still has high stats. But she takes a pretty big nerf with magic being turned off and her weapons being mundane. I'll be honest, I grabbed Zariel and edited it into Rhea to create that token. You know, she absorbed the power. Kind of slipped on that one. Thanks for catching it, Jillian.
Okay, no worries.
Well, that's going to be it for Rhea. Jade's second turn. What's the plan, Dan?
Well, I'm going to need to end the prone effect and the grapple effect.
Well, you can't end prone if you're grappled. You have to end grapple first.
Okay, so grapple first is what am I rolling?
Athletics or acrobatics check in an attempt to try to break free, whichever you'd rather use. That does take a full action, though. Once someone got you grappled, if they knock you prone, it's really bad. They get advantage against you and a whole bunch of other nasty things.
Nope. No attack can have advantage against me unless I am...
Yeah, because you got the special. The U was used as the general U. You've got the specific to get around that, so that's nice. Oh, I should have been cruel. I forgot about the legendary actions. Well, it's in the first round of combat. It's still warming up. With an 11, you do not break free of the Tarrasque's mighty jaws.
Has anybody said anything? Because I've not heard anything for a while, and I'm worried my Discord's disconnected.
Can you hear me?
We didn't.
Can you
Pardon?
hear me, Jillian?
I can hear you now. Were you talking before?
Dan's planning.
Okay.
We were talking up until the point you disconnected, and then when you came back, we didn't say anything until you asked.
Yeah, we've been a bit on the quiet side.
Okay. Just checking, because my Discord is just so sketchy. I have to double check.
We were mostly talking about being prone with the grapple condition. It's pretty
Rude.
rough business.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes a difference, but that should have been a 16.
Nope.
Because it's reliable talent.
With the reliable talent giving you a natural 10 on that, a 16 is not enough to pass. You are still grappled by the Tarrasque's teeth. That's your character's actions. You got a bonus action or something up your sleeves?
No, I got nothing. So I'll just make the frightful presence check.
Yep. Wisdom savings throw to see if you're no longer scared of the creature. And you roll that at disadvantage. Oh, wait, no, you can't. No, is it attack rolls can't get advantage against you. You roll that at disadvantage. With a 15, you are still fearful of the monster. And probably with just reason, too. End of Jade's turn?
Yeah.
As your turn comes to an end, as Jade is horrified in the fangs of this monster, because I'm going to roll with that, it's going to use its legendary action that I said I was being nice and not using. Eyes shining as it turns towards the rest of the party. Its mouth opens again for a brief second. It looks like Jade's being tousled, and the grapple condition on you most certainly ends. As you find yourself sliding down the beast's throat, in one fell swoop, it swallows you whole. You are now blinded and restrained. You also have total coverage against attacks and other effects outside the Tarrasque. However, you find yourself falling into a deep pit of acid within its stomach as it drops you down. Alec's turn. Jade has been eaten.
Well, I was going to heal him, but I can't see him anymore.
Yep. Total cover against attacks and other effects. On the plus side, Dan, you take no damage from the swallow at that time, but at the start of your turn, you're going to have to deal with that acid. Plus, you're blinded and restrained, so that's kind of nasty.
Okay. I can find something that's kind of I don't think this is going to work, but I need to ask. If I project an aura, would Jade count as being in that aura if he was within 30 feet of me?
It has total cover.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my action to wild shape into an adult emerald dragon.
I think I've got one of those on the fly. Just give me a second here. Yep, because that's one of the norms. Let me just pop that onto your character and do a quick wild shape for you.
Whee! Hey. Okay.
I'm gonna move you to the square that you can be within. There you go.
And as my bonus action, I will no bonus action. That's my turn for now.
And as your turn comes to an end, the Tarrasque is going to use another one of its legendary actions as it twists and turns. Swinging its tail hard. Against Nimbar. Sorry, I had to do that one a bit randomly.
What's it doing, sir?
It's swinging its tail at you.
Rude.
And what's your character's AC?
19.
Oh yeah, it can't miss. That's a hit. Give me a strength savings throw. As you take 26 points of bludgeoning damage from the tail sledgehammering down on top of your character. And with a 17... Oh, you got something?
I assume that you said 26 magical?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. But it was 26, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think they made a Tarrasque's weaponry count as magical for the effects of overcoming resistances and such, but I say it does. Because I'm mean, and this actually has to be a challenge for you all. But that strike is going to knock your character prone. Alex's turn. Oh, sorry, Flux's turn now.
I'm gonna stand here. Does that give me flanking with Rhea or no?
You're inside of the Tarrasque square at that point. The only area that would give flanking is mostly being used up by the front of the party between Alec the giant dragon. Though, not Nimbar doesn't actually take up a space, it's not a creature, so you could be in this space.
Okay. Would that give me flanking?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
There'd
that's
be
where
enough
I'll
room
go
to
then.
squeeze.
Okay, and I am gonna try to carve this guy's belly open to get Jade out.
Jillian, is Fergus in with you?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
Ooh boy.
Alright.
Well, I'm just gonna roll that damage
Yep.
while I'm doing it.
Jesus. Oh.
It's force damage is what I decided for my sword, just as a reminder. Okay.
Alrighty, you go ahead and keep swinging as you bring the sword down to bear.
What?
Rolling multiple 20s in a row. Because why not?
Sorry.
We're not.
And you can see the Tarrasque's eyes shifting as it now gains a new
that
target.
should have been critical. I'll roll it again. Alright, well, just 1 second. 23 hit?
23 is a miss against their carapace.
Okay.
Wait, Jillian, did you do critical damage
I know,
for
I did not, but I'm just seeing if another one hits. And then if it does, then I'll just roll critical damage on that one.
And a 29 is a hit.
Okay. So then, is it okay if I take the damage that I accidentally rolled at normal?
Yeah, go ahead.
And apply
Save
it
some
to
time.
this one? And now I'll roll the critical for the second critical?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Save some time. You go ahead,
Okay.
throw that up for the crit. Alrighty. And it takes the extra 52 points of damage. Anything else for your character's turn?
It doesn't seem to be... There's no change in his...
As you're carving up
activity or
its
anything?
leg, nothing seems to change.
Okay. I will action search then.
Alright. You can go ahead and make another few swings at it.
Just making sure that I check off action surge before I continue.
Oh, Dean, you want to know what the best thing about a Tarrasque is? You see it eyeing up your dragon, licking its lips. You're pretty sure it could fit inside your its mouth, maybe. Two
It's
hits.
a big boy.
The adult might not fit, but the dragon, it would definitely make the attempt. 3 hits. 26, 26, and 28 are hits against a Tarrasque. And a 34 is a hit. You go ahead and roll up your damages. $28, 34. $40. This is looking injured, but still standing firm. And a 29.
Okay.
Oops, I accidentally deleted it.
That's okay. I'm going to use... Can I use, One sec, I'm trying to figure out which maneuver to use. Can I use Distracting Strike on one and attempt Goading Attack on the second one?
Sure.
So Distracting Strike just happens when you hit. The next attack roll has advantage, so whoever attacks him next is going to have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goading is, can he please roll a DC 24 Wisdom saving throw?
The Tarrasque has passed the Wisdom savings throw.
Okay. But I do get to add 2d12 to that damage.
Yep, you go ahead and roll those ones up.
That's an additional 19 points of damage.
Alrighty. Anything else for Flux's turn?
Nope.
And as your turn comes
So
to
that
an
means... So, sorry, did I say what goading does?
end. Oh, he passed his save.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Nimbar's turn up next.
First things first, I'm gonna stand up, kind of dust myself off. Next, so I know her spell ricocheted because it was a direct attack at it. So I don't think Nimbar would think disintegrate would work. So I think at this point we're going to use a 9th level spell and cast True Polymorph, targeting myself, into an ancient brass dragon.
I am going to have to be the voice of reason on that one and say, when in our campaign did your character ever bump into an ancient brass dragon?
Okay.
Meanwhile, John's like, shit. No, I'll let it go, man. Don't worry. I'm not that mean.
Yeah, it's not like those ones are uncommon. Like, I can understand the crystals. But
Well, an ancient dragon of any form is going to be an exceedingly rare monster. It's challenge rating 20
That's
after
fine.
all. Bumping into one is a very rare thing. But like I said, I'll let this one go. You give me a second here.
Thank you. That would be an action, mind you.
And you will no longer be able to stand toe-to-toe against the Tarrasque as you have allies in that space.
Well, then I can just proceed to move over there. I'm just seeing if I have anything I can do, and it does not look like nothing for this form at this moment.
Not too many. A little limited on the tricks. So,
Yeah.
gonna roll around to Jade's turn next. As we start round 2 of combat against the Tarrasque. Unfortunately, your character has been swallowed and you're presently sitting inside of a pit of acid. You're blinded and restrained, which means you have so many disadvantages it's not even funny, and you take 54 points of acidic damage. What's Jade up to for his turn?
Does that 54 points include our boons?
Sorry, include what?
When we became... Is it magical damage or just basic acid damage?
It's its belly acid. It's definitely magical. It's a Tarrasque. Everything it does is magical. It's a creature created to kill magic. Like, to have a creature this powerful and not have it be able to overcome magical resistance, in my opinion, is a waste. I will say none of its abilities are supposed to be able to, but I've given it all of the abilities to be able to, because, I mean, they've already nerfed it enough. 3.5's Tarrasque could annihilate this thing, but yes, it's definitely magical damage in nature for what this thing's doing. As it decimates Jade, but doesn't kill him. What's Jade's next move? Oh, actually, did I slip on that damage? That damage wouldn't hit you yet. It's going to hit you at the start of the Tarrasque's turn, next turn. So Jade still has 54 health up. Acidic damage happens at the start of the Tarrasque's turn. My apologies, I thought for sure it was at the start of the player's turn. Fortunately, it's next in the combat row, so at this point it's just an issue of keeping things correct in the right order. The irony is you still get your sneak attack if you manage to hit it, because you have an ally within 5 feet.
Disadvantage on the attack, so no I don't.
Oh, right. Disadvantage on your attack roll. I mean, I'm sure you have a point of inspiration up your sleeve, though. Whether or not you want to burn it on this is another question.
honestly, it's the only thing Jade can do.
He's got you good. You're the one who got bitten. The downside to being first up on the attack against what is clearly a mindless monstrosity that lacks the basic intelligence of such creatures like yourselves. This isn't a thinker. It's definitely got a low intelligence stat, you know that much. It attacks what attacks it first, which is why it now has eyes on Flux, because Fulminox is just laid into him. So,
Yeah, I'll use the point of inspiration and just attack with Moonlight.
alright, you make a swing then with Moonlight as you attempt to stab the monster from inside. Stab at the heart of thee. 31 is a miraculous hit against the Tarrasque. You go ahead and roll your damage as Moonlight erupts with power from the inside for 30 points of damage. And your sneak attack on top. 61 points of damage. Well, Dan, I'm going to tell you a little secret. If you do a specific range of damage enough in a singular creature's turn to a Tarrasque, you trigger a regurgitation roll. However, that happens at the end of your turn. Any other tricks up your sleeve?
Nope.
So now I make a Constitution savings throw with the Tarrasque to see whether or not it can hold on to you, and as it starts to upchuck, as it starts to lurch, as it starts to lean forward, ready to spit you out, its eyes glow as it passes its save. You are still swallowed, and you still take that 50 plus points of damage, leaving you at 17 now.
Watching this from the outside, would Flux have any indication that
you'd
something
see
might have
it.
happened from inside?
You ever see a cat cough off a hairball?
Sure have.
That's essentially this, except this is a Tarrasque coughing up a jade ball. Because, you know, I don't know.
Since that happened on his turn, I'd have my reaction back, so I will half that.
So long as you can half any damage. Because if it's just reaction to half damage that you've taken, because it's not an attack roll, it's just a state-based effect of being in a pit of acid, that you take 16d6 points of damage, which was 54. So, you can cut that in half.
I also want to point out with one of our boons, once per rest, we get to just say no to damage.
Yep. Oh, never mind. That has to be an attack I see.
Yep, so you take the full hit. Unless you want to reduce it to 0.
No, I'll take the full hit.
Alrighty, and give me another roll at the end of your turn to try to stave off the effects of the fear. I mean, let's be honest, if I was in Jade's shoes, I'd be pooping myself. I'd be happy I wore the brown adventuring pants that day.
Question: if he's blinded, does he still get disadvantage because he can't see the source of his fear?
Exactly, it's not in line. It says if it's in line of sight. It doesn't necessarily say if you can see it, but...
He does have...
True sight come into play with blinded?
Yep, with true sight, he's not... Well, 1 second here.
But he also has blind sight, too. So we're
Not blind
bad.
Not blind sight, blind sense. I am aware of...
Sorry, my fault.
Yep. True sight only magnifies, so since blind affects, it blinds your true sight. So Jade would roll this one flat. You can't see the Tarrasque anymore. I mean, that doesn't make sense. It ate you out of all the times to be terrified.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we're not here for sense, we're here to win.
That's fine.
Well, I mean that all this goes back to the true sight. Doesn't affect invisibility's advantages type thing. Like you're in it, but you can't see it, so therefore
Yep.
it's like a
weird.
Oh.
No, still scared. I mean,
Man.
thematically, that works so very well because you just got aped by a god-slaying monstrosity, the Tarrasque, with all of its might and power as we roll over to its turn. Because I'm assuming you're done with Jade then at that point. Because technically the Tarrasque hasn't had its turn yet. This is all just effects of what it does. And of course, it's now glaring at Flux, but... What's up?
technically, because of blind sense, I can see it.
Let me see here. Well, that would just give you a disadvantage. You've rolled a 2. You're kind of doomed anyway.
Well, blind sense allows me to pinpoint location of any creature within range, as long as I have line of effect to the creature.
But if it doesn't say you see them, then you're not technically see them. But line of effect and line of sight are two different things. I'd have to read up a little bit to really understand the exact mixings. But for right now, I'm throwing you the shadow of the doubt and saying you shouldn't be rolling at disadvantage. It's up to you if you want to punish yourself. I mean, by all means.
I'd have to look into it, because that was the Pathfinder ruling, sorry.
Yep, it's a little tricky with blind sight, because it just lets you sense. You're not actually seeing. You just know they're there. Dragon Ball Z style, I sense them, they're over that way. Punch in the face. No, he's right here. Exactly. As we roll around then to the Tarrasque's turn, as Jade struggles and not to pass on, it's going to glare at Flux. Is she sitting on a 19 for the AC now?
Oh no, sorry. With my armor reattuned, the shield's not up because I would have had to take it down. But it would be 22.
All right, let me just give that a mix over to a flat upgrade for a 22, as it's going to immediately assault your character. First thing it does is bring its tail with a firm, swift whack. Straight down on top of Flux, the one that did the most damage, and I'm going to need a strength saving score as it tears through your character's defense.
Okay.
Oh right, stupid high stats. 26 is a pass. I mean, it is possible for you to fail that check, but it ain't gonna be easy for me to make that happen. Flux stays
I was
on
a bit alarmed when I saw the 8 appear in the dice. But yeah, that's a good save.
Now, I'm just gonna make notes of the damage as I'm running through it, because the first one is 25 points of damage to Flux, as the Tarrasque strikes hard. But not only that, it's not done yet. It still has claws and fangs and horns coming at you.
Saying it out loud so I don't lose track of my damage again. Marking off 25 right now.
It strikes you hard with its teeth as it rips you into the air, grappling you, in fact. No save, automatic grapple, one of those annoying things. Biting teeth around. As it lifts you into the air, you are now grappled in the fangs of the Tarrasque, which shakes its head back and forth, and nothing says it can't use its horns against something it has grappled, so, you know. I'm saying it throws you into the air for a minute, sledgehammers you with a horn, and bites down on you again. It doesn't make sense, but you know, these are epic monsters, and the horns hit as well. You've taken 25 and 34 from the 2 hits, and now an additional 21 points from the horns striking you. And then it's going to bring its claws up, both of them scratching at you, at its face, as it catches you hard with the first one, and almost as hard with the second one. First hit levies 49 points of damage, and the second an additional 31. So, in total, 25, 34, 21, 49, and 31. And you are grappled in the jaws of the Tarrasque.
Okay, so...
I threw them in chat.
That's fine. I was just gonna say, I think I have thing to reduce damage. I'm just double checking now. I put the damage in for everything except the claws. So it's just the last 2 I'll need to put damage on.
80 points between the 2 claws. 49 and 31.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find my reactions. I thought there's... Oh, parry. Okay, yeah. So I'll parry the 49, or whatever the 40 was for the claws.
Yep.
So that's a D12 plus 2.
You go ahead and give that one a roll.
Please don't roll shit. Yay! So we'll reduce 49 down to plus 2. So that's 13. 39 take away 13 is 39.
36.
36, thank you. So 36 and 31.
Alright. You go, feel free and shave those off your character's health. But that's gonna be it for the mighty Tarrasque's turn, as we roll over to Bellamy up next. Upon seeing a second party member suddenly being eaten as you're bitten and lifted up. She's gonna give you Bardic Inspiration, of course, but I'm also gonna see what else she's got up there to give a boost. I don't like having her do the crazy things if she's not actually here for it, so...
Does she have heal?
She must have something for healing. I don't know her character that well.
I'm just having a quick look. I don't think she has the heal spell, but she does have some cures on her.
She has like a touch for healing. I don't know, guys. It's one thing to play a character, it's another to run a bard, because they're tricky.
She does do divine intervention a lot, but yeah.
She uses divine intervention. Flux hears a voice in her head. Please come and help us. Like, it's not working.
Oh yeah, we are the gods now.
You dialed into the local network. It's not helping.
Look at me. We're the gods now.
Well, she's definitely going to use her bonus for Bardic Inspiration, and I'm going to put that one up right up in the chat so you have the reference for it. Beyond that...
Try to find like a distance healing spell so she doesn't get up there, but...
I don't think she has any. She has touch.
Yeah, but... It's Bardic, and Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action.
Yep.
She has healing word.
Does she? But that's a bonus action. She has Mass Cure Wounds, but we can only see Flux's heart.
I'm just gonna have her stab with her rapier.
Oh.
Did somebody take advantage from my superiority die? It was just Jade, but I don't think it would have applied to him.
Oh, he had to use his inspiration. We could have revised that instead, Dan, if you want, and say that you use that and you still have your inspiration.
Makes sense, because as long as you'll allow it, because he couldn't see me do that maneuver, but technically it does say next attack has advantage.
Yep. So Dan, you still have your inspiration.
And there you go.
You can thank Jillian. She had your back. Unfortunately, Courtney misses. So, Jillian, Flux have any last words of inspiration for the party?
No, she's going exactly where she wants to be.
At the end of Bellamy's turn, as we roll over to Rhea's, of course, the Tarrasque is going to use their legendary capacity to swallow your character whole. Down you go. Rhea's turn now. Rhea is going to use the help action as this is happening because there's nothing else that she can do. She doesn't have a weapon that can hurt this thing. As she flies up and smacks it on the nose and say, "Hey, Laser Lips, your mother was a snowblower." Sorry, bad reference. She's going to use the help action to give advantage as she sees Flux getting eaten and says, "Flux, no!" and gives advantage to your character, since you were polite enough to give it to someone else. Jade no longer has a second turn, so I'm removing that combatant. Alex's turn now, as you stare down the mighty Tarrasque.
Okay. This is really unfortunate initiative order for a healer. Okay. Yep. I will... I'm gonna breathe on it.
Alright. You go ahead and launch your breathe weapon.
I can get an angle on it without. Well, most of my allies aren't there, so I can probably just breathe straight out.
You should be able to get a measured template that can place for that, but you're talking a cone. They're all built the same way. They're as long as they are wide. If you fire one from here, there you go. See, that works right from your mouth.
So so Jade isn't there, so
It has to roll an intelligence savings throw.
Emerald gem dragons are about funny with their their breath weapons.
What's the DC on that?
Just 18.
It passes.
Would it pass if I used the wool?
I don't know.
What did I actually get? The next time the creature makes an attack roll or an ability check, it must reduce the number. What else can my reactions do? I'll probably do the wool. I don't think. Yeah, I'll do the wool. So.
All right.
I'm not hopeful, but let's see, where is it? This features tab is very, very messy. Oh, fuck's sake.
Using Woe has no effect on the Tarrasque, unfortunately, shrugging off the breathe weapon as it deals a minimal volume of damage. Though you've certainly gained its attention, which was good because it was staring down at Bellamy's purple hair, who's looking up like, oh no, I tried to stab it in the foot and now it's learned its eyes upon the dragon before it.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Guardian of Nature, and I'll choose the Primal Beast option, give myself some physical bonuses. Then that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. As your turn rolls around, the Tarrasque makes a broad sweeping attack with its tail, and I rolled a 1 on that. But the dice number is still high enough to hit. The DM wonders, should I allow a critically rare monster like this one to hit anyway, since its total number is still high enough to hit you? No, live by the dice, die by the dice. Flux's turn, as the tail barely misses your dragon.
Alright. My first strike is gonna be a flat roll, right? Because it would be disadvantage.
Yeah, you have disadvantage on everything, and advantage with the next one, thanks to your ability.
But it's not.
No,
advantage.
That's not true. What gives
Because Rhea gave me a help action,
Yep,
so wouldn't
that's
that
it,
mean that my
right.
first roll would be a flat roll
Yep.
instead of disadvantage?
I was trying to remember how you got advantage. It's like, I know you got it, but how did I do
You
that?
did
Rhea?
it!
Right,
You
right.
chose to do that!
Too many moving pieces, apparently, for the DM to track. You go ahead and roll up a swing. As a 25 strikes hard from the inside, but you're going to want to roll all of your attack rolls against this thing. That first one hits well, and then it clenches on you. Disadvantage on all your remaining attack rolls, as you'd give 27 points of damage for the first swing into the Tarrasque from the inside.
I'll use another maneuver to do my distracting strike again. So the next attack has advantage. And do I get to roll an additional d12 to that? No, I don't.
I'm going to use
then
all
this
the
one-
superiority dice, and you heard her in the background. She's like, oh my.
This will be disadvantage, but I still have Bardic Inspiration that I can use.
Well, if you use the other strike, it'd be a flat, wouldn't it?
What?
You just use the
Oh
So
no,
the
I think
next-
it's other than me. I think it's other than me. Let me double check though. Distracting. Yeah, other than me.
Okay, so a 22
not me.
is a miss.
Okay, I'll use my Bardic Inspiration. Is it somebody remind me what the die is?
For Bardic, I think it's
Yeah.
10 at Bellamy's level.
1d10.
Yep, it's D10.
29. Okay.
29's a hit. You go ahead and roll your damage on that one.
Does she have a special thing where does using Bardic do anything?
I think if she's an eloquence bard, you keep the
fail.
the thing until it passes.
Gotcha.
Let me see.
So total, you've done 57 points of damage with your 2 hits. Go ahead and roll the last 2 at disadvantage. Look at that. You say, forget you to the dice. You're going to roll an 11 and an 18. 29's a hit. And a 33's a hit. Or 33's damage, thank God. I was going to say...
I'm rolling the attacks, then the damage.
Yep. It even says damage. I just didn't take the moment to read. How the hell? You did pull a 33 anyway. That's not fair. Okay, you just give another damage roll on that one. Over 37 more points of damage as you lay into the Tarrasque from the inside. Anything else on Flux's turn?
No, I'm just seeing if that attract. Well, I'm going to see what happens, and then if nothing happens, then I will action surge. Does that make sense? Because I know that there's a save at some point, because you said that I would have observed that from watching it save the last time with Dan.
As it was starting to upchuck, slicing in and slicing in as you're readying your blade, nothing seems to be happening. You'll have to make a decision whether or not you want to use that action surge that you have to keep swinging. But as you're in mid-swing during your turn, nothing seems to be happening.
Okay, then I'll action surge.
All right, feel free to cut into it. And I'll tell you, Jillian, unfortunately the wording of the ability says at the end of that turn, it rolls its regurgitation save. So, your character wouldn't have been able to catch it, but doing an action surge was definitely wise because it's still pretty tough. You go ahead, roll your 4 attacks at disadvantage, and stop rolling 15s. Oh my. Jade looking up like, what's going on? Flux lands in the stomach and just starts going full Ginsu. He's doing everything he can not to get sliced in the process. Unfortunately, a 1's an auto miss. 32 is a hit, though.
It avoided a nat 20, which is sad.
Oof. 32 is also another hit. And for your last attack. 25 is a miss, so you roll 2 damage rolls for the hits against him.
Oh, sorry, ignore that last one. I'm getting my pop-up windows mixed up.
No worries.
The last one is just, I don't know if you can delete it, but just do it.
Oh, gone.
Okay.
I'm Dungeon Master, I can do anything.
Okay.
28 points of damage. 33 points of damage with the 2 hits.
And I will second wind as well, because I have not used my bonus action yet.
You take deep breath inside of the Tarrasque. Oh, it's not nice. Being in the belly of a whale. Yep. For 22 points of health.
Oh, did it do it twice again? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's.
Oh, I only see 1 second win up there, the 22.
Oh, okay. That's so funny because you said 22, and then it was before I clicked the thing. So thought I had rolled it by accident. It was weird. Anyway.
As for Big Boy's con save at the end of your turn, unfortunately I rolled a 19, so he does pass. You're both still in the belly of the monster. I kind of questioned that, given the sheer volume of damage you just did to him with all that, but there's a reason this is considered the strongest land monster in the game. Nimbar's turn now.
Well, I watched my friend do it, so it seemed kind of fun. I'm going to breathe really, really hard on him.
All right.
So I have a breathe weapon. We're going to use the fire one, I think.
Alrighty.
Sorry. DC 21 dex save.
has a line for its breathe weapon?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Whoa.
Check.
That's
It's a
weird.
90-foot line.
90-foot line, 10 foot wide, as it shoots a straight cone of blasting fire directly into the belly of the beast. Fire burns over its form, curves to the body. And worse yet, it seems to have no effect on the Tarrasque whatsoever.
Oh.
It must
some
be immune.
Fire.
Of course, it's immune to fire.
Fire really does suck as a damage type.
What was your other option, John? Just out of curiosity.
I have a sleep breath.
Oh, okay.
Go nap,
Did not-
Tarrasque.
And you rolled like such high damage too. Like, do you see
Oh,
how many
yeah.
sixes are in there?
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as it rolled high, I knew it was a bad sign.
The
Oh dear.
Tarrasque, unfortunately, appears immune to fire damage.
Well, now we know.
On the plus side, since those flames washed over its form without any issue, it presently has its eyes on Alec. Anything else on Nimbar's turn?
Yell at it.
Oh, son of a why could you? That's not. Jade's turn from the inside. Well, Dan, you definitely have an ally within 5 feet of it now if you can shrug off the disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll inspiration Moonlight this time.
Alrighty. Pulling inspiration to give yourself advantage. You go ahead and give it a swing.
I need to. He doesn't need to because I did the thing.
Oh, right. No
Yes,
attack
you did the
roll's been
thing.
made.
Don't you keep
Yep.
your inspiration, my friend.
Back to back with Flux, both of you holding each other up against the innards of this monster. You're like, I can make a good stab now. So you let
Jade,
it
you know,
fly.
I always imagined it would end this way. Me and you,
Oh, damn.
the belly of a beast.
Damn.
Oh.
That's
I
critical.
feel so bad, Dan. You're 17 points off from being able to trigger that ability on Moonlight. It has,
Oh.
yeah, so close to an insta-kill for Moonlight. Did the music stop?
Oh, he would have beat the Constitution's saving throw.
Let's get that rolling again. It looks like it glitched.
Oh, I
Back.
can hear it.
I had to restart it.
stopped.
It went silent
Oh.
on me.
Yeah, same.
Still, crit on a sneak attack damage from inside the belly of a Tarrasque. Let's see if you make a hole to the outside.
Yeah, it was either this or pull some tomfoolery and just like, okay, this is how I'm getting out.
$47 points of damage to the inside of the beast, followed by an additional 60 points of damage. You see the Tarrasque suddenly jump a bit as it belches a large wad of smoke flying free from its mouth as it growls. But you haven't killed it, even though it's very near death with that insane volume of damage. Look at that, 107 in a single hit. Anything else up Jade's sleeve?
I'm looking.
It's like, I must have a bonus action in here.
I really wish I took a second weapon so I could top hand this.
Oof.
No, there's not much else Jade can do.
Well, that being said, Moonlight acts as a longsword in your main hand. Does Flux happen to have a blade on her, like a short sword or something of the sort like that, that could be wielded in the offhand?
Non-magical, so he would overcome it. Just like how Reyes doesn't do damage.
Yep. Poor Rhea. She felt useful too, but she goes through the portal, all magic turns off. DM's like, what 3 magic items does everyone take? Rhea's looking at her sword, looking at the team, looking at her sword, and they're like, nah, She goes, well, fine. I'll get something later, maybe, if I'm lucky. End of Jade's turn?
Yeah, there's nothing else he can do.
At the start of the Tarrasque's turn, both of you are going to be affected by the acidic bile inside of its stomach.
Did it make
Jade
Jade
says
save?
no.
Didn't regurgitate?
Oh, right, sorry. I almost forgot it has to try not to throw up. Con
Okay.
savings throw. I mean, it's that stupid high, so there's almost no chance whatsoever that this thing's ever going to fail one of those con saves. Come on, guys.
I really hope you jinxed it and it
Oh, I did.
fails.
He throws up. They're all,
Thank
both
God.
of you lie on the ground now, prone. Before the Tarrasque, as it leans forward and just hurps up both of you. Out of legendary resistances that I have not been saying it's been using, but it has been using.
Yeah, I didn't think it would have very high intelligence, so I was surprised it passed that wisdom, a very high wisdom, so I was surprised when it passed a wisdom saving throw of 24.
Actually, its wisdom's good. Its intelligence is shit poor. But I did have to use it. Actually, I'm not sure if I did. I know there was an intelligence save, though, that burned it.
Yeah, Dean's breath weapon. What's an intelligence save?
As it throws up, the DM's going to ask Flux and Jade to have a dice roll off with a D100. Higher the dice roll, it doesn't attack you. Lower the dice roll, it does. So this could still pen the end for poor Jade.
Can I just, take it? Can I volunteer as tribute?
Right now, you're both laying prone on the ground.
I'm sorry. I wanted it to be me.
Well, the Tarrasque is going to bring a claw firmly down against Jade on its turn.
Jade says no to damage.
For that first hit from the claw?
Yep.
All right. No damage, even though it breaks through your character's defenses. You manage to swing. But it's got more than one claw on the second swings. Jade AC a 26?
Nope.
Now, let me see here, because it has advantage because you're prone, and I rolled the same
No.
dice twice. What?
No, I'm not incapacitated, so he does not get advantage.
Right. That's how it works. So I'll remove that second dice roll. So the second claw, you managed to dodge as well, because you got 26 AC, which is making the difference. It's still going to try and bite you, however. That one is going to be a hit. As its teeth sink in and it grapples you for 31 points of damage. I think that's enough to drop Jade to 0, though. And it still has its horns, which it's going to use to attack Flux, which it has advantage on, and hits for 33 points of damage. And finally, the tail with an advantageous strike as well for 24 points of damage as it breaks through your defenses. You'll need to give me a strength save.
I say no to the 33 damage, and I will take the 27.
All right.
That was the second one, right?
Yeah, 24 for the second one. But I do need a strength save.
I will roll that.
Now, even though Jade is in the teeth of a monster that's chomping on him and doing all that, you don't get any death saving throw fails, at least. 35, you pass. You are not knocked prone. As we roll over to Bellamy's turn.
Can she see the injured people?
She can definitely
She
see the
would.
injured now.
I will also point out, Mass Cure Wounds does not require you to see them. It's
does
an
it
area
not?
of effect. You pick a spot, and it makes a 30-foot circle area around that, and you get to pick the targets within that 30-foot area to
Yep.
heal.
So long as they're not completely blocked. Doors, walls, stuff like that will block those sort of effects, right? So since you're not in the
Yeah.
belly, definitely going to work now. So she is going to cast that, which is 3d8 plus her spell casting modifier. Because I can't find it. Wait, hold on. I'm blind. And I was looking at features, wasn't I? I was. Mass healing word. Let's throw that one up.
No, a mass cure wounds.
Mass cure wounds. Let's throw that one up. I picked the wrong mass. You're going to drop it here. However, being within range of the Tarrasque cancels out her spells. No.
No!
32 points of healing. all of you get back. And my
Right.
kid's cheering for you, as you can hear in the background. Like, yeah, Keely, yeah!
Right, Jade isn't unconscious. That's the main thing.
He is not, but he's still grappled and held, and at the end of his... Sorry, Jade, back in the belly you go. Jade goes down. Oh, damn it! Rhea's turn now. She is going to once again use the help action to give advantage on Flux's first swing, though she doesn't really need it because of Rhea's positioning. She's going to give it to Nimbar, since he's the only one without advantage should he choose to swing. Alec's turn now.
Okay. I'm going to do my my multi attack. So I don't know who if I've got advantage from positioning, but
Rhea's giving it to the three of you there.
Okay. So I used my I've got that Guardian of Nature spell up anyway to make strength-based attack rolls with advantage, and my melee weapon attacks will do an extra 1d6 force damage. Okay, let's try this. So wait,
that's unfortunate.
Jesus, fuck, man.
I've
really?
had a few
Now?
rolls like that today. That's okay. 15's a miss
Okay.
against the mighty hide of the Tarrasque.
So I got a 1, I got a 20.
Balances
what?
out.
So that'll be... That's quite low damage. So that's 16 damage plus 2d6 for my spell. Oh, don't know why I'm rolling as Bellamy. I've got her icon clicked, that's why. So... Ugh.
Well, good news for you. As your character lashes out with their claw, you tear through the last defenses that the Tarrasque held, which roars in pain before collapsing, dead from the power of your strike.
I like the flavor of Alec just like reaching into the mouth and tearing open the jaws to pull Jade out.
I was going to ask, I've got one more claw attack left. Can I cut him a path out?
Well, that's the thing. Once a creature's been killed, they can crawl out prone, using 30 feet of movement. So Jade can get out of there no problem on his own now that it's not fighting against him. He also doesn't take the acidic damage. Because that's going to be pretty much it for the Tarrasque's turn. And I'll go ahead and clear the combat tracker at this point, so...
Okay. I am gonna go because I have a really bad headache.
That's fair.
So I'll let you guys wrap that up and I'll get Dean to summarize afterwards. I'm sorry for ditching so quickly. I was just like, I can make it to the end of the fight and then I need to not be looking at a screen.
That's fair. Timing's good
Hope
too.
you feel better.
I got a jet
Thank
too.
you. I'll see you
better,
guys. Thank you, Alan. Bye-bye.
And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, the Tarrasque has fallen. You have managed to defeat the monstrosity as it collapses over onto its side. Because, by some fortunate track, it doesn't even have regeneration in this version. Go figure.
I mean, that's pretty clever the way it cuts off line of sight, so you really can, once it swallows someone, it's really difficult to help them.
I also had to burn through all of those legendary reactions of it, but I wasn't saying I was doing it for one of the few fights because it's a little more fun that way when you fight something like this. But congratulations, mark that one off on the achievement. Tarrasque ain't nothing.
Ding!
Plus 250 XP.
Can we do like a God of War New Game Plus for the 2018 version? You can sell your XP for stuff once you've mastered everything.
New Game Plus walking in with the Tarrasque Carapace armor. It's like, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So I don't. So my wild shape lasts, I think, for 10 hours just now.
Oh, that's for a good while now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Rise up into the air a bit and give a glance round.
Give me a
and I
perception
think.
check as you do that.
Okay. I think. I don't think gem dragons can shapeshift like other dragons. I might be stuck as a dragon, but I can still wild shape, so I can be a dragon. No, well, that's confusing. Anyway, perception check.
Well, dragon can change. They can mystically transform into any creature, medium or smaller, while retaining game statistics. So you can make yourself look like yourself.
Well, no, is that true for emerald dragons? Though I can't see that in my little.
Came in underneath your features when I pulled it in. Let me double check.
I know that brash dragons can.
It's one of those universals. So let me see. Yeah, bonus action, change shape. Along with Psychic Step, you can magically teleport 60 feet. So you can make yourself look like yourself while disguised as something else. Totally.
Okay, right. I know I've done that with other dragons in the past. I couldn't see it on the little... with the thing in D&D Beyond. Maybe it's not there. Alright, cool. Right. Anyway, perception check.
Yep.
Incoming.
As you glance across the skyline, far, far in the distance, over the mountains, you can see something approaching on the air. Many somethings. But a 28 and a 27 aren't quite enough. Who wants to roll for Courtney, since I think she has the highest perception? Anybody else is more than welcome as well, as you're all scanning towards the skyline. I mean, flying up there, Alec would be pointing out, I think I see something, because as you saw, Nimbar threw up one.
Okay, let's see, where's... Alright, okay.
That's some big nopes across the party. And since Jillian had to step out, I will roll for her character, but I'm not sure. She gets a +7 on perception. She can't actually do better than what's been rolled, so I'm not going to bother.
I can't. Oh, man. If only that, like, I had rolled an 8, I would have hit 30.
Probably be a good 15 minutes before whatever is coming is upon the town. But you can tell it's not alone in the sky. And it's huge.
A flying Tarrasque.
I was tempted. I was actually tempted to modify 3.5's Tarrasque and throw it down, but this is 5th edition. So I went with the legit rules, because the 3.5 was much stronger. But I mean, if I wanted a true game over, I would have been like, this falls from the sky.
Oh dear.
Or I could be like, that was actually a baby Tarrasque. This falls from the sky. Is very mad.
I mean, the real question is, who is the brave soul that put the balloons on it?
Dusty.
Well, he did make
yeah.
it, apparently. Makes sense now. The Tarrasque, a legendary creature made for the War of the Gods. Who were they fighting? But you have slain the beast, one of the most legend. As for that large group that you now see coming from the sky as minutes drag on. I made a pun. They unleash hell upon the land. And you see it is indeed a flight of dragons. Breathe weapons tearing open. Easily 20, maybe 50, if not 100 of them flying across the sky. Scorching the land. repeatedly firing breathe weapons down upon the ground as they draw near to Baldur's Gate.
Well, fuck.
Unfortunately, due to your lower perceptions, you don't really have time to go and approach them. They're going to be on top of the city within moments. And judging by the wave of destruction that they're flying by with, there's not going to be much left of Baldur's Gate. Meanwhile, Nimbar's like, I modified the Tarrasque. I'm ready. Sorry. I'll stop.
I almost sent that picture earlier.
Well, I mean, I guess it's lucky we started the evacuation already.
You can go full in on the evacuation, start ringing the bells, start telling Baldur's Gate to run.
So you say there's like a flight of dragons. That's like what numbers are we talking about here?
Your perception check didn't break quite high enough to make it out, but you're certain dozens upon dozens, might break 100 of them in air.
Okay.
But you can't quite make them out from your distance. You'll see them as they're overtaking and burning the town down. But they're coming in live. However, you feel as you're turning back to your human self, I'm assuming with that shape change, Princeps Kovic.
I'll probably be staying as a dragon, because in case I need to take off and get one of them.
Princeps Kovic, however, will be there, and he's going to turn towards you and say, our army stands ready. The devils could intercept them, certainly, but a flight of 50-plus dragons flying through the air, unleashing flaming breathe weapons upon the ground? What the hell can stand against that? 10,000 strong army of devils.
I mean, well, I gotta unleash hell, right? I mean, they'll be able to do something.
Yep.
Well, I mean, what the chances are just going to ignore the army anyway?
Army's pretty big with a lot of flying creatures.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You give a marching order to the devils from hell, who are more than happy to take up the arms as they all charge into battle. And as they do, the bells of Baldur's Gate ring as the town is ordered to evacuate. What about the players? You're all a little bit injured and winded after that fight that you've just been through, but an army of dragons flying forth.
I'll start by casting heal on Jade and use the chalice stuff to give Flux a boost. So Jade will get 70 HP back and Flux will get 20 back.
I will point out as you're doing this, as you're planning on that, Lulu is going to come down and land. Reverting back to her regular form as she looks up to the team, and you can see tears stinging the edge of her eyes. What in the nine hells? Why would they turn against us?
Oh no, don't tell me they're metallics.
Of course they are.
Lulu confirms that she saw some gold, copper, metallic dragons in there, a flight of them. But not just that. The chromatic dragons among them as well. And not only that, other forms that she'd never seen. One that looks like a fairy flying in midair. And a very, very small volume, maybe 1% of what she sees flying through the air. Dragons forged of gemstone. It's not just the metallics or the chromatics or the gem dragons. It's all the dragons. They have all turned on humanity.
Yep.
Woolly poop.
This town has no magic. It has a very small army left standing, and your devils will provide at least a brief respite for the town to be able to escape. The question is, do you want to try and meet probably 100 plus dragons on the battlefield?
I don't think even we can take that on.
I know.
So
I mean, we would try, but
all those breathe weapons.
yeah.
They are burning the outlying lands, destroying the farms and the infrastructure as they make their way. And sure, it's an epic display when your devils catch them in combat and the flying ones meet up with the dragons, but let's be honest here. All of them working together? Never has such a thing been seen.
I think we might need to tell Kovacs to just cover the evacuation, then have the army retreat.
Devils will hold the line, and they'll provide you some time to run. And the remaining troops will definitely be able to get out of there. You can certainly make an escape from Baldur's Gate with the people, with the citizenry. And as you are prepping for this, as you're making these runs, a familiar drow is going to come and chat with you all as it walks over and looks down towards the corpse of Tarrasque and then back to the team. As Trist acknowledges, well, this has gone from bad to worse. Now the dragons want us dead. Who did we ever piss off? Oh my, oh my.
I'm shocked that Bahamut has not done anything. Or maybe he's dead. Maybe there's no one left to follow but Sardior.
Trist looks at you side on, gives a shake of his head. Don't press your luck. The dragons aren't on our side anymore. What makes you think we can pray to the god of dragons? There is no help to be found, my friends. We are evacuating this city. But I do have a piece of information. I'll give you one last small glimmer of hope. Though that monster said he was on his way to Waterdeep, the city of Splendor far to the north, I know where the goddess of magic ran. I know where she hides. And after seeing you fight off that creature to defend this town, well, I think I can trust you to let you know that if you're looking for the goddess of magic, you'll find her in the city of Neverwinter.
Okay. How far is that from here?
Well,
Days?
Waterdeep's a 22-day trek north. Neverwinter's even further. But you've also all got access to level 20 plane teleportation movement spells and are quite familiar with Waterdeep. Neverwinter not as much.
Wait, is Neverwinter close to Mirabar?
1 second here. I'm gonna grab a quick map of the Sword Coast because I'm cutting it on my own time today a little bit as well.
But basically, Alec is from the north, so he's been all over that land. In fact, his title before he started this adventure was Guardian of the North, so I can tree stride us pretty close.
I'm throwing up a picture, it's just taking a moment to load. There you go. So you can see on the far coast there's Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and further to the south you start to see the other spots, but it's quite a trek from Waterdeep to where you are talking anyway. As for
the High Forest? My dad's from the High Forest. He gets there. Or I could get us to the woods south of Mirabar with a tree stride.
It's pretty close.
I mean,
You'd also have an idea for El Terrell and its surrounding areas right beside Waterdeep. You did send it back after all.
I could tree stride into my awakened tree. Blah.
Oh my word. Oh, I'm sorry. El Terrell's right beside Baldur's Gate. I mixed those up. I had a slip. But you definitely do have the trees near Waterdeep. There'd definitely be spots. I mean, as you can see, there's also Westwood, which is right beside Waterdeep. You'd probably have, and as I've said, I let Nimbar fly on using his big old ancient brass dragon form. I'm pretty sure I can say your characters would know of the lay of the land near there. So if you've got some fancy fast movement to get to Neverwinter or to get to Waterdeep, it's up to the team if you want to go there quickly. Nimbar's like, I got a wish. I could just, like, you know.
Yeah, I think we teleport there. Because I feel like we need Mistra to win this fight.
To Neverwinter, or are you going to teleport to Waterdeep?
That's the question.
So, we could get to Waterdeep and warn them that there's an attack incoming, and then move on to Neverwinter. By flight, it shouldn't be that far. But again, can tree stride as well. There's Vandalin? Okay, that's just there.
Well, you all choose your destination, and I'll give you a freeview preview of what you see when you arrive, but you'll have to pick which city you're going towards.
I personally think Neverwinter. It sucks to abandon Waterdeep, but, like, I don't think we can win.
Hang on a second. Right. I can get... I'll post the text of Tree Stride, because I could evacuate.
Has a range of 500 feet.
What?
Yep.
Wait, off.
It's once per round, mind you, so you can basically move 500 feet per 6 seconds, which is an incredible distance to travel.
Alright, I've...
A mile in 6 seconds? 1,000... There's 1,000 feet in a mile, right? I think.
Okay, I've thought that this was just a straight up teleport. I remember seeing it on a Let's Play podcast. Does anything druids get fucking... Is it cool at all? This is like 500 feet to 500 feet. Jesus fuck, Matt, right, forget it.
There are 5,280 feet in a mile, so it would take you a minute to travel a mile going at those speeds.
Right,
so it would take you about half an hour. But you could, essentially, the way I'd work that is a little different then. You could bounce your way up the Sword Coast pretty damn quick going from tree to tree. However, can you take a creature with you?
No. I was reading through the description for that itself only.
Well,
what? I must be remembering something wrong, because there was a spelling critical roll that let them... That you basically made a portal with between two trees. Because they went from between like city to city, so what am I thinking of then?
Let me see here. Transport via plants?
That must have been the thing. Is that what I was thinking? Must
Transport
be.
by plants. 6th level conjuration. A larger intimate plant. The druid speaking of a spell creates a magical link between a larger intimate plant with another range plant at any distance on the same plane of existence. You must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once before. For the duration, any creature can step into the target plant and exit from the destination plant by using 5 feet of movement. So if you were to drop a transport via plant, a druid spell only, it's 6th level.
That's the one. That's what I meant to prepare.
With that kind of ability where it's any plant, not just trees, my god, man, there's shrubbery inside of Waterdeep, there's shrubbery inside of Neverwinter. But the party's not familiar with Neverwinter, you are familiar with Waterdeep. You'd be able to get near Waterdeep with it, certainly.
Well, I can get us there, at least. Then we can book it. And we can also, we could line people up around the tree and get them to Waterdeep and take a bunch of folk.
Well, that only stays open for 6 seconds. You get 1 round.
Yeah, we get
and
1 round.
The peasant railgun says they can, do that crazy crap and everybody can do it all at once in 1 turn, but that doesn't make sense. You could get your team going.
I'm thinking a team, and then I don't know, someone who could talk to Waterdeep nobles. I don't know. Well, I do know. Hey, hang on. Alec knows the Blackstaff. They're in Waterdeep, right? So does his dad. Anyway, right, I can get us there, I guess is the thing. Has any of our characters been in Neverwinter before?
Ooh, that's not a question I can necessarily answer. In this, no. In general, maybe.
Yeah, I thought maybe Nimbar might have been or Jade.
No, I don't think. I didn't really pick a background for like a hometown area for Nimbar, but I don't think.
Right.
Just seems too convenient. Don't like it.
So, let's let Waterdeep then as.
The only thing I will say is if we're going to Waterdeep, be prepared for a fight as soon as we get there, because was that not where Sardior was going?
Yeah.
Like 6 hours ago.
It might be the same situation. You might just get back to a wreck.
Yeah, we're probably just. Yeah, like I really think we should get to Neverwinter, but I don't know how close you can get us.
I can get us to Waterdeep proper, or I can get us to, roughly the same distance from Waterdeep to like some woods nearby. We're still looking at some travel time to get there. Because Alex from Mirabar, so there's a forest there, the Lurkwood. He would know that, but that's travel time away from Neverwinter. He's been to Waterdeep, so he knows trees there. He can get people to there, but I don't see why. And he's like ranging while he would have went down to Neverwinter, because it would be a detour for him.
What city did we go to Avernus from originally?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
And then you went down to Candlekeep. You started in Waterdeep, went to Baldur's Gate, and then to Candlekeep. Technically, Neverwinter's never popped up in any of the campaign.
Yeah.
We also have a boat.
Travel time.
Servant. Yeah.
Alright, you do have. Well, you had a boat. It's probably wrecked at the moment, thanks to that Tarrasque.
Thunder Tree, Coneyberry. No, I Alex's backstory is Mirabar, directly south
there
Waterdeep
any
to the southward, some adventures, then back to Waterdeep. I don't think he's been on the coastal edge.
Well, I mean, you can use your ability to plants to get near Waterdeep as well. That way you don't actually get jumped immediately if that's a concern.
Are there any wizards left in the city?
Here? Probably a couple. Yeah. But now, at the moment, they're running for their lives.
We're also one of the few individuals with access to magic.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if there's someone who has the glyphs to the teleportation circle. And, like, if there's a teleportation circle in Neverwinter, we can do it that way.
It's not going to be functioning, John.
No, but I can... So long...
Or you could just wishes there if you want to go straight to Neverwinter.
Yeah, I think that's really going to have to be what happens.
Is that like a 30% chance you lose access to?
Yeah. That being said... Yeah, no, I was looking at the... If we had a permanent circle or associated object, we could get there, but...
Well, I mean, if you use Wish, you can just use Greater Teleport, can't you?
Is there Greater Teleport?
I think there's something. Let me double check here. Pretty sure there's a 7th level teleport spell.
Yeah, that's just teleport itself.
1 second here.
Greater Teleport sounds... I mean...
I thought there was a guaranteed teleport spell in the game. I'm not sure. But you guys are going to have to decide, because I'm running out of time.
On a different plane.
The safest way is just Waterdeep and then travel up.
Yeah, I guess it's on you, John. How much is Wish worth to you?
What I think, we get there and then I can...
Because it's really as, like, if you want to risk losing access to Wish, then we can go straight there. But if that's something...
I think we'll roll the dice.
You want to Wish straight there?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. So...
Before we do this, can I get hold of one of the commanders in the army and tell them after whatever remnants are left after they cover retreat to escort the refugees to Waterdeep maybe, or another major city, and then we'll wish away.
Alrighty. So, John, Nimbar's going to take the risk to cast Wish outside of its use to say take us to Waterdeep?
Yep.
Alright. We're only a D100.
Nice.
69. Nice.
Well, 33, 66. Those would have been safe, but anything above 66 is the third. You no longer can cast Wish. No, I'm kidding. If you got 33 or lower, I would have stuck it to you. With a 69, though, you safely pulled it off. However, you still take the negatives of casting Wish outside of its useful form. Your strength drops to 3 if it isn't already 3, which means you can't carry crap anymore. And you also have other issues, so, along with necrotic damage if you ever go to cast a spell. But, throwing aside the city of Waterdeep and what splendors it might have held, you decide instead to teleport yourselves directly to Neverwinter. And as you do, you find yourselves ricocheting. Everyone, go ahead and apply 63 points of bludgeoning damage directly to your characters as you all sledgehammer into the cold, hard, icy ground of the far north. of Neverwinter, Jewel of the North. And certainly you can see that beautiful, bustling city ahead of you all, and a large, glowing, golden dome encompassing the entirety of the city. It reflected you when you tried to wish in.
Okay, I do have to point out, I did have to revert back to my regular form in order to cast the spell, so I'm no longer a dragon.
Alrighty. Well, you find yourselves outside Neverwinter after taking a hard smack. However, what sort of power could ever block a wish spell? It would have to be, divine.
A god?
The large, glowing barrier stands tall and firm, covering the entire city like a snow globe before you. But we'll touch more on that next week as you all approach the mighty city of Splendor, deciding to leave Waterdeep to whatever fate it's suffering. And that's all I got for this week, everybody. As the team's made its decision on which direction to go. Chasing after Mystra in some vain attempt. Maybe save the day. We'll see how it goes next week, but congrats for this week. You have successfully killed the Tarrasque. Baldur's Gate has fallen, and will be obliterated shortly by an army of dragons.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, I feel fine. Oh my. Alrighty then. Well, that's all I got for you for this week then. Unless anyone got any questions, I got a jet because we have to go pack up my wife's classroom for moving, which sucks.
Well, thanks for the game.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun.
And in the immortal words of Kelly Kapoor, how dare you? That's my question. How dare you?
This has nothing on what I got planned for Neverwinter. I'm surprised you jumped there right off the get-go. It's going to be nuts next week for the in-person game. It's going to be fun.
Oh, lovely. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. We will see you all next week, and yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Figure out what to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's true. I know you. You're right. You said meatballs.